You're listening to the Maritime Milsim Podcast, the most popular paintball podcast on Tuesdays between 7 and 9 p.m. The Maritime Milsim Podcast is brought to you by MaxTac, makers of the TGR line of MagFed markers, MagFed Maker, and Ripple Industries, your source for Milsim paintball and airsoft goods. The room suddenly started to spin as soon as I hit live. I was like, oh God, I'm going to pass out on live on Facebook Live.
Develop epilepsy in the middle of the podcast.
Yeah. Right. Somebody call 911. What's his address?
So, okay, well, welcome everyone to episode 110 of the Maritime Milsim Podcast. My name is Brad Odell. With me, I have Guardian.
Hey guys, how's it going?
As well as we have Tuna.
What's up, guys?
And we got Too Tall. We got the East Coast Too Tall.
What's up?
So Too Tall's going to keep an eye on the hockey game for us so that we can keep track of what's going on.
That's screen.
You are living the North American dream, my friend. You truly are.
Except he's a Penguins fan.
Whatever. You're a Flames fan.
Yeah, just kidding. I am a Flames.
Truly are. So, ladies and gentlemen, we had another topic and another guest lined up, but unfortunately it fell through. So we're going to go to our backup topic, and we thought we had Too Tall on last time, and he's a really good guy, so we're like, let's bring him back on. So Friday, all four of us, were actually at one game together for once.
Yeah, it was unreal.
Right, it was a little strange to be able to play together, and so we were at Mersey Road. We were at a field out in Nova Scotia. A 5-hour drive for me. I thought I was dying.
Yeah, that's into the game.
Mm-hmm.
I was lucky. It's the field just down the road for me for once.
Right.
Everyone else lives close to the fields. I'm always the one driving an hour.
Yeah, no, it was brutal. I was up at like 3:30 in the morning to get on the road for 4:30, and just it was hell, man. It was brutal. But I did it anyways because 1, it was paintball. 2, it was a paintball where I knew everybody going, and I was just like, I haven't been to a game like that in a long time. Not that I don't like meeting new people, but oh, son of a whore. There we go. I'm sitting here staring at the screen. I'm thinking, like, something looks wrong. And I was like, fuck, I forgot to switch over the video feed.
See, I thought there was a big delay.
There is a huge delay. I'll learn how to work this magical box one of these days.
Yeah, by episode like 200, you know.
350. Let's not get carried away.
Yeah, 350. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, but I know what you mean, Brad, about the Black Friday game, or that's what it was called, the season opener at Mercy, was it's a game that I guess they've been doing for 20 years. I just saw, and they're like the same event each year. So we call it Black Friday, which is just Good Friday event, but yeah, drew 100 and some people, I'd say 120 people if I had to guess.
Yeah,
and it pretty much pulled a lot of the MagFed players together from pretty much everywhere. Wolverines were there, which is where Too Tall plays. Pretty much a lot of MSOB, even some of the casual players made it out, and it was unreal to get everyone together.
Yeah, it was really strange, but at the same time, it didn't feel strange on the field. I don't know how to put it without sounding really, really corny, because it was basically I jumped on the field and I knew how to play with you guys, even though I don't get to play with you often. Does that make sense?
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, follow me because you don't know this field.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You and I stuck together for quite a little bit, yeah.
We stuck together, and I ended up running into English a lot. So I'm going to apologize to everyone. Something like crashed my video feed, so I have to reset. And one of these days, nothing will go wrong on the video. Like one of these days, it will work. I don't know. Anyways, so let's talk about the day. and something's wrong with me. I'm not thinking straight. It could possibly be the whiskey that I put in the beer. So let's talk about
Good way to
versus.
start.
The beer was flat. I needed to add something to it. Let's talk about the game. The field. The field is way bigger than it looks. Because I follow Too Tall around because he's like, yeah, if we go this way, I was just like, I have no idea where I'm going, so I'll follow you.
Yeah, it's a weird field in that it's got like a central area with like a whole bunch of bunkers and kind of. I think it's based on an old racetrack as well, is it not? That bottom area, I thought, and so it's close quarters and buildings in kind of one spot, but then it expands for pretty much endless in all directions. As far as you think you're going out, there's always someone who went like a little bit farther, and in a lot of ways the tape line maybe isn't defined or it's really out there. So it makes it made for an interesting match because you never really knew where the final player was, or if you really had the outside, or if someone was just waiting to pop through the trees and just flank you. It's a different kind of game. Yeah.
There was that really nice, like, close quarters, a lot of bunkers, there was a couple buildings at Embassy, but then, there was that forest that was super thick that you could just sort of, like, lay down and hide in, and that was cool. Really, the field was really nice. I hate to be the guy that has to say not good things, but those bunkers need to be updated. Like, there was one bunker, we were actually shooting paint through the wood. It was that old. So.
No, I'm with you on that. So. They could definitely put a little more time in. I think it was you and I who wanted to go on the second level of the Embassy, pretty much the only second level building in the game. And as soon as we got up there, I got up there and like excited to shoot somebody, and I just heard a ref point out and just be like, "Okay, you're not allowed up there. It's not safe." So yeah, they could definitely update some of the bunkers because that's like the dead center feature bunker, and you're not really able to use it.
Yeah, that kind of sucked. I get that. I get that it happens. That you can't always update everything, right? Like time, money. A lot of fields don't actually especially a lot of the fields in Nova Scotia, or times at the very least, don't operate 100% for profit. So there's a lot of volunteer work involved with them, and I think that kind of causes some of the fields to they've got to weigh the options. They got to try and get manpower out there, money for the bunkers and stuff. So it's understandable, but it does suck that you go and you see this Embassy and you're like, this is awesome. No, you can only use the bottom floor. So that kind of sucked, but nice field overall.
Absolutely. Lots of fun. Great turnout.
Yeah, solid turnout. Great group of great number of people came out.
A huge mixed crowd too. Like definitely a mix of mag-fed, speedball. I don't think there were too many pump out there because most of them kind of transitioned to speedballs. Pretty high rate of fire at that field. I'm not even sure it's had a defined limit by the sounds of it. Or an enforced limit, I should say, maybe.
Yeah.
And
they say 15 balls per second, but there was a few you can tell are a little quicker than that.
Yeah.
Oh man, I actually was going through some of my footage and heard just the clip of this guy. It's like people were going for the flag, and it was just endless, like endless. It must have fired like 200 to 300 rounds. Like easily could have put a pod in his hopper, firing 15 balls a second, maybe more. Who can count at that point? And finally, as soon as he stops, he gives out the classic, "You like that? Hey, yeah, I could keep doing this, guys," and just like keeps going. It was hilarious and like something we don't see a lot at Seabreeze or some of the other fields we play at. So it was just, it was definitely a different crew, lots of shooting, lots of paint flying around, but it is an FSR friendly field. So I got to Andrew Boyce, who brought me out a couple, and he fired some out of his 4.68, and I had some going out of my M17. It was a pretty good day for that.
Nice.
Yeah, and I saw one of the speedball players you got there, Blake, right between the eyes. He didn't like that one.
Yeah, I think I had a couple people come up afterwards and be like, were you the one shooting FSR? I was like, yeah. They're like, oh yeah, so you got somebody good. I was like, oh well, that's how it goes. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's always, I love shooting FSR, and it costs a lot more, but I find I shoot a hell of a lot less. Like I've probably fired like 80 FSR and then maybe 100 round ball all day.
Right on.
Wow.
Helps keep the cost down at least a bit.
Yeah, for sure. There was, speaking of the guy that was just nailing everybody, like just smoking everybody with paint. What the hell? No, my whole system is just like falling apart. This is fantastic. Camera stopped working. This is great. This is awesome. This is exactly what I wanted.
So can everyone hear us but not see us? Is that what's happening right now?
No. Everyone can hear us and
else.
see you. They can't see me.
Oh, okay.
So
Welcome to what we deal with. We never see
that's
Brad.
right. Yeah. Just post your picture up.
No.
The one that you make us watch all the time.
That one's just to remind you guys who's boss.
Guys. Yeah. He's naked. That's why he can't post it up there.
This is
Mr. Bradley Odell.
Oh my god, this is garbage. This is absolute garbage. One of these days, I'll get a big boy setup, and I'll be able to properly run.
We're just gonna have to start hosting it for you.
Thought about that actually sometimes. So that way I can actually travel, and you guys can host everything for me. That'd be great. Okay. I think I got it fixed.
It was volunteering.
Yeah, he was.
Dog won't leave me alone.
I will teach you how to run the software. Okay, I'm back. I don't know for how long. Anyways, carrying on. Speaking of the guy firing a ton of paint, I was sitting in one of the bunkers. Now, I noticed about this place, about Mersey Road, that their players that play here on the regular basis, like the ones like their home field, are very trigger happy. They like to shoot. Not a bad thing. Just it's something that we don't see a lot in the Maritimes. I find a lot of the fields that I've played at, it's a lot more conservative with the paint. At least in the woods. So anyways, sitting there in a bunker, and there's a hole in the bunker, and I sort of poke my head out, and then I bring it back in, and 10 balls hit. And then I poke my head out, go back in, and then I got another 10 or 12 balls hit. So I did this 4 times. And I'm sitting there, and I look at Andrew, who's with me, and I was just like, I wonder how long this guy's going to keep doing this. Poke my head out, 10 more balls, and they all hit the bunker.
Oh,
and
man.
I was just like,
nonstop.
It just didn't stop, and I was just having too much fun. And then finally I poked my head out one time. He fires it's like pop, pop, brrr, out of air. And I was just like, you're out.
Cool. I tried to wait a couple guys out, and it did not work. I was like, he's got to run out of paint eventually, and everyone was just like, no, man, he's not going to run out of paint.
No, that guy's got 16 pods on him.
Yeah. But we did have some fun. We did bring a couple smoke grenades out there when we were capturing flags and a couple of the Enola Gay bursts. And those ones I actually find those are quality because the burst kind of releases it all in a really short amount of time. Actually creates a good cloud. We managed to push up, get a flag on the first one, basically take the ground on the flag on the second.
Was the burst one the red one?
No, I think the first one was yellow and the second one was green, at least that I did. Oh, okay. And we put them both on the flags. But the craziest part about it was not even so much that people moved up, but when the smoke went out, the amount of fire that took place, because no one could see the flag. So everyone was just emptying absolutely everything they had into the smoke. And I managed to move up a little bit, and it was just insane. It was just constant. It must have been 6, 7, 10 people shooting as fast as they possibly could, just into the cloud of smoke. It was insane. It's a lot of fun though.
Well, it's always funny when that happens, right? Because they just assume everybody's rushing the smoke. So they just let's just fire into the smoke and we'll hit everybody. And nobody's actually moved. Because everyone waits for it. So,
or you can be like Blake and throw the smoke grenade and then shoot where it lands, because someone like me might try to pick it up and throw it back.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've done that before. Yeah, you got to keep an eye on it, make sure no one fucks with your smoke grenade once it lands.
Nice. I don't know about you guys, but I found the roughing at that game was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I would say so too. It was quite good, and it's not something that and not to keep ragging on that field, but it's not something that I've really experienced there in the past. I know they posted up, the field owner a couple of days or a week beforehand was like, hey, we need a couple extra reps, and the volunteers were boom, 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 all volunteer, and they were a little bit of paint or something like that, maybe do a half day of reffing and shoot the afternoon on some free paint, and it was good. And I even had a ref come up to me. It was actually after I caught that guy in the goggles and run up to me and be like, what paint are you shooting? And obviously because everyone else was shooting, yellow or orange paint or whatever it was. And this guy's got a huge big blue splatter on his face. And just quick, I'm shooting first strikes. Oh yeah, all right. Backed off immediately, gone, no issues the rest of the day. And it's nice because, there aren't aren't a lot of fields out here that let you shoot first strikes.
Yeah.
And that's a field that actually works well for it, because even that main open area where all the bunkers are, that's probably one of the bigger open areas around in the Maritimes, where the sight lines are pretty open and long.
Yeah.
And so it works out pretty well. I can't say I had the greatest day with it. I think whether shooting round ball or first strikes, my personal accuracy was just shit that day. I had so many people just like hit heads floating in windows, and I just like put 2 shots. I could hit anything but people that day. I don't know. I started off strong and then just faded hard. There's not going to be any highlight reels from that video that day. That's for sure.
Yeah, that was a really good field for the first strikes. It was, except for again with Andrew. And he was running, what was he running? 4.68. So there's a guy head floating in the window, and I was just like, there, you got first strikes? Do it. He's like, all right. He lines it up, takes his time, click. Damn thing flipped in the mag.
Oh.
The deadbolt caught it. I was just like, I just hear click, and then a rain of paint came down on us, because at that point they noticed like the 22-inch barrel and the big fucking scope.
Yeah.
I'm over exaggerating, but the marker is stupidly long.
Yeah, he did draw a fire. I had him set up next to me at one point to try to do some first strikes, and next thing you know, we're getting rained on. I was like, I'm moving.
I think it's the glint. I think they see the glint from like the scope or something, or just everyone sees the scope of strikes, and now that is like the main target. That is the player to eliminate, and they just unleash hell upon him.
They hear the whiz of the first strike go by, and then they're like, "Oh shit, where did that come from?"
Yeah,
and
I love that sound because it means it didn't hit you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. The worst is that sound followed by a thwap sound. You can hear it even still when it comes in. It's
if you
hear
hear the whiz,
getting screwed.
I like
got
that
time to
on the way by.
Yeah.
it's
the refs. Oh no, I was gonna say my experience too. The refs were bang on, because there's a few times I called for paint checks and stuff, and they were there quick. So they had them spread out nice around the field. They weren't grouping together or anything. So
no, and they were
good
fast.
job. Yep.
They were fast. Like there was one point where I looked at English and I was like, "Am I hit? Am I hit?" And I didn't see a ref anywhere. And English was just like, "Well, quickly turn around." I said, "Okay." So I turned around so he could check my back. And when I turned back around, there was a ref in front of me, and he's just like, "No, you're good." And then he took off. It's like, where the hell did he come from? So it was fantastic. They were power sliding into bunkers, checking you over, and then just booking it back out of the bunker. It was fantastic. The reffing was amazing. So the only thing, and I'll ask this for people who are in the comments or in the chat or whatever, get their opinion. Sorry. Sage Honey has just typed out what a first strike sounds like, and it's just zzz.
Absolutely.
That is accurate. Yeah.
ZW. Yep, that's it. And I want opinions on this, but I'm thinking at this field, when you've got an event or a big game, and you've got a mixture, you've got rental players, you got magfed players, you got pump players, pistol players, and you got speedball players. So rental, magfed, pump, pistol, speedball. Basically, you've got everybody. You've got all forms of players. Short, somebody with an airbow. But at this game, they don't limit balls per second, or they don't enforce. I don't know. They worded it in such a way that they said they don't worry about it. So I know some markers can hit 20, 25, 30 if you want to risk chopping. What the hell is this? Why is everyone leaving?
No, we abandoned the show.
Yep.
It's a
Some
meme.
shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Could at least wait till the
Quickly.
episode's over if you're gonna quit.
Yeah.
So anyways, when you got this mixture, you got guys like speedball players just ripping tons and tons of paint. Got like 20 balls per second easily. And we've got an awesome co-host.
Yeah, that's right. Gus. Yeah. He's ready. He likes to eat paintballs.
He does.
And set off smoke grenades.
And smoke grenades. Yes. He is the lucky winner of the blue-footed prize of eating a smoke grenade and dyeing himself blue.
Oh,
Fantastic.
For like an insanely long time. Like 2 months. Don't get that stuff in your hair. It's like hair dye, apparently.
So what you're telling us I should tell Jukebox next time she wants to dye her hair, I'm just going to, like, grab an Enola Gay and just, like,
yeah,
we'll dye your hair. Just run into the bathroom, and I'll just, like, pull the pin, toss it, and shut the door.
yeah, that's right. Just roll around in the powder when it gets on the floor, yeah.
You should get us sponsored by them. That would be cool.
Yeah, we'll try to get sponsored by
that's
Enola
right.
Gay.
Yeah.
We'll use them for hair dye. So I want to know what people think of ball per second limitations or lack thereof. Personally, I can deal with it. I just feel like, I've got my mini is set like at 12. It won't go above 12. I don't even put it on full auto or ramping. I set it at, god damn it, video footage not working properly.
I don't have that setting on my marker.
Yeah, exactly. I set it to God this shit.
Yeah.
So I was saying that my mini is set to 12, and it doesn't come off of semi-auto. Now that's just a personal preference. That's just how I like to run my invert mini. Some people prefer full auto, some people prefer ramping, and I understand it, and I know what the point of it is, and I can totally understand if you're on a speedball field. There's a reason for that. But I just feel like, especially if you've got a mix of players like pump and rental players, and MagFed, I guess, but then there's no need for the 20 balls per second kind of thing. I don't know. That's my opinion. I don't see the point in shooting that much paint against an opponent that is shooting, not even a tenth of that.
Fed hopper, yeah.
Right. I was a little
anti
at first, but I thought that it played fine. I mean, the team seemed balanced.
Yeah, I'll give them that. The teams were very balanced.
The team was a bunch of competitive speedballers, and you put all their rentals and pumps on one team. Just the rate of fire wouldn't be comparable, right? But when you mix the different players, it balanced out fine, I thought. So.
Yeah. So it did. It balanced out well. The game ran pretty smoothly. There was one point where they steamrolled us, and there was another point where we steamrolled them. Like, it was sort of back and forth. So that was pretty healthy. Again, I didn't of having that much paint being fired. Now, as a field owner, all I hear is ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching.
Right.
Right. So I totally get that. That's okay. I don't know. I feel
what?
like,
And it's something some people do enjoy. Some people love pushing their marker to the max it can go. And, if they bought a marker and it can shoot 20 balls a second and they're finally at a field that will let them do it, hell, I understand that. It's the same thing. There's probably speedballers being like, oh, first strikes, and they, I don't see the point of it, and, and this and that, and the unfair advantage and this and that. But, so, to each their own. To me, I'm with you as well, that, it's not certainly how I play. I've got full auto on my M17. I've probably used it properly a handful of times. Sometimes it's nice for the little burst shots. You can pull a trigger and maybe get 3 shots off in one pull. That's kind of a nice way to use full auto. But again, it depends on who you're playing against, right? Going full auto against rentals is just a pretty not very classy move all around, I would say. And,
You're laughing at the Jersey comment, Tucker?
Oh, I'm not watching that. I'm not don't have my phone out, so I can't see the actual comments as they're going on. But
Let's just say Rabbit's is a Pens fan. Sorry.
Oh, I gotcha. All right. Yeah, I know. But it's hard to say. There's advantages all around. My big thing is with that many balls a second, it makes movement really hard. And I think that the whole point of any paintball game is movement. It doesn't matter whether you're playing speedball, rec ball, whatever. If everyone is just trapped behind a bunker, firing as much paint as they can, and there's just a stalemate of a wall, who's having a lot of fun doing that? If you can finally get some rate of fire down where even though someone's watching you, you can still maybe make that move over to the next bunker, that changes the whole game. Then finally you can start moving around, making use of the whole field.
Yep. Yeah, there was so
the layout of the field really helped with that, though. So
that's true.
If you're getting heavy fire, people just pull back. They went around, they sweep them, and they pushed on, right? So.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a few times where there was like an absolute stalemate until like this one or two of those crucial players got eliminated, and then you could just feel the whole field shift in one direction.
Yeah.
So, and
I know we did that a couple times. Come on.
Anytime I have a teammate come up behind me, I'm just pointing the marker at them, and I'm like, "Show me your armband," because it's really heavy woods, and there's so many people, right? That,
yeah. Who was it? One of the players got ripped on. His armband had fallen down like around his wrist.
Oh, it wasn't me. Then.
Oh,
No, we're not going to rip on you.
I
We can talk about that if you want. We can. But
that could go either way. So,
yeah. The wrist, the armband had fallen down by his wrist, and so when he was behind the bunker, they couldn't see what team he was on just by his mask, and they just like popped up and surrendered the player that was walking by, and they lost their mind. I supposedly lost their mind at them.
oh yeah, the fellow was actually on MSOB, and he was with another player.
Yeah, so it was one of you shitheads.
From what I hear, I mean, when you're using a marker tape, it's difficult to tell what team anyone's on. And to be honest, I'm always going to shoot you if I don't know and you don't make it clear, right?
Yeah. That's one of my pet peeves is going to a field and they have like 3/4 inch wide marker tape as their arm.
Right.
Like
that's what this was.
just
yeah.
like bust out. Maybe not. I understand not wanting to put duct tape on a $150 jersey or something. I get that. But, get something else. Get like the really thick caution tape, or make it in the rules that it's got to be on your mask and on both arms and on the marker, and like not just a single piece that's this, that's 6 inches long and has to be wrapped around your arm.
And the funny thing was, is their biggest problem with it was the placement on the wrist, like right here. And which is funny because I was doing the exact same thing. I always put my marking band on my wrist because if you ever get caught, this is an old Alabaster, there you go, an old Alabaster slim tip. You've got that on your wrist. You're in a bunker, you're far up, your own team starts shooting at you. You can just wave your arm out and let them know what team you're on. Kind of hard to do that with your shoulder or like sticking your head and wobbling it around with the tape on it.
Yeah.
And so that I do that on purpose. And then when you shoot, you're up like this, and there's your wrist, visible for everybody to see. So it's not like you're hiding. I don't know. I find it strange they called him out on the wrist issue.
Too Tall's playing with his team tags.
I'll show you that. A nice big piece of Velcro and armband that the guys at Seabreeze like to use.
That reminds me, I have a few that turn in. Sorry, Derek.
just a few. I might have a couple as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's use a big strip of Velcro or something. But just like I said, the tiny little marking tape, because that stuff stretches and it gets really thin and it becomes like almost like string. And then you got this really, really tiny. Like I didn't look for armbands the entire day. I just shot whatever was shooting at me.
Yeah.
That was how I ran my day. So
if you're on the opposite sides of the bunker, you're on the other team, basically.
Right, and there was a few times where we were shooting our own teammates.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had one. I have the one that I was excited. The first day started off. I'm excited to use first strikes. It took me a minute. I did a little bit of filming when the round first started, so I was late coming out. And when I came out, our team had pushed all the way down to what they call Skull Tower, so basically all the way down the far right-hand side of the field. I'm playing with some players on the left, and we take some shots from the right, and we look over, and there's just this crowd of players standing right in the open, and I'm like, oh, watch this. First strike's up, shoot, just missed, but he's kind of looking around. Shoot again, straight in the head, and he's just like, kunk, head goes back, he's like, oh. And the ref turns, and I'm like laughing, and I'm like, oh, yeah, awesome first strike shot, and the ref's like, that's your own team, right? And I'm just like, oh, shit. And here I am like bragging about shooting this guy in the head, and he's like straight up on my own team. So like casually, I'm like, oh, and I just like go up and join them and don't say anything about being the one shooting first strike. Sorry about that, guys, but it happens, I guess. Yeah.
I'm guilty of shooting my own teammate at one point there that day because I got up ahead of our guys a little bit, and I was kind of in the middle of their line. I had people on either side of me, and all of a sudden I hear someone yell to the right of me, "I got him, guys! Move up!" And I turn around and look, and there's a guy next to me all of a sudden, but he's looking back towards our team, and I kind of thought he was on the other team getting ready to shoot, and I might have plugged him right in the back. And then I realized, and he turned around, I could see his armband, I was like, oh, 'cause he made a really good move to get there too. So
Nice.
couldn't find him to apologize later. So
Yeah.
If you're watching, Ian, sorry.
I'm sorry.
True Canadian fashion.
I'm sorry
well-
about the other guy too that we talked about there today. But
I'm not.
That could have gone either way, right?
I think it was justified, 100%.
Yeah. If I was
Yeah,
thinking, I would have downloaded and pulled up the video.
Yeah.
We should have.
Well, if anyone's wondering, I had a guy who was taking some pretty good shots at my face for a while, and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. And then I finally found him. He was huddled behind a tiny little bunker. And I came around the back side of my bunker, took a few shots at him from the left side, and he kind of started pulling in, and I ran across and went to the right. And when I came around, I saw his marker start to come up, and I shot him. And we were only like 4 or 5 feet away at that point. And he told me I could have surrendered him, but, you know, you're trying to get up there, and you don't know what he's going to do. You know,
I watched the footage from Ian's cam, and I still say the guy took 1, maybe 2 shots at you as you're advancing. So he was in it to keep shooting.
Look,
He
ultimately,
didn't push back.
I watched the video, and ultimately, I think if Too Tall here can basically stroll up to the bunker, like not even like try and circumvent it, but he strolled straight up to it, and then turned to the left, and then bunker you. You're out. You were out the second that he started walking towards the bunker, and you didn't notice he was coming.
And I switched hands, added that cool factor in there.
There you go.
You added the nightmare effect. The switching of the marker.
You know,
on the...
I understand his point there, but the way I looked at it, I don't know who he is, and I didn't want to chance it because I had to get past him into the next building to get cover, or I was going to get shot. So,
And it's one hit. It's unfortunate when it happens, but we're getting lit up walking off the field. Getting shot once when you're trying to shoot him is kind of the name of the game, right?
Getting popped.
You're out there to play paintball. I think if you get shot once with someone who didn't stick like the barrel up to your ear and pull the trigger and be a total asshole for no reason, there's no reason to complain. Like, I mean, up close or not,
he got off.
You know, yeah. And I mean, we don't call Ian too tall because he's like a small guy. I mean, he's like 6'6", if not taller. Like, you know, he 6 foot. Yeah, exactly. There we go.
Right.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah.
Speaking of Too Tall's height. So at one point in the field, this was really funny because I was giggling, and I don't think anyone heard me on the field giggling. So, but I'm a short fella. I'm only 5'7". Like I'm a short dude, right? I'm a tiny dude. And mind you, I'm like 4 inches taller than my father. So, anyways, at one point walking through the trails, like Ian Too Tall here is just like, so, okay, follow me. I know the way. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like following behind him. And at one point I realized I felt like a child following his father because you're literally like shoulders and head above me. And I'm just like, do, just following behind in the middle of the woods. Like it was just, it was hilarious. I thought it was the funniest thing.
But didn't I make you feel safe?
Yeah, that's right.
You did. I felt like you would
bunker in
defend
front of
me.
him. He could yeah.
Not gonna lie, I may have done that near the end of the game.
I noticed someone's comment. They're just saying, you know, if their back was to you or not. That situation that I had there, the person was facing me too. So if I come up behind someone, then I would always offer the surrender. But in that case, we were engaging each other. So
I was responding a little bit in the comments, and it's just funny to me that I find people get more worked up when you surrender them than if you shoot them.
That's because they're embarrassed.
Get really offended. Yeah, they're embarrassed.
Right.
Well,
sometimes
read any online forum and someone says, "Well, what would you do if you were surrendered?" People would be like, "Oh, I'd turn and shoot him." Everyone's like, "I never take surrenders." Like you'd see like 2 people in the entire list who are like, "Oh yeah, I take a surrender when it's offered to me." So I mean, if you're not, if you come around the corner and it's not a rental and they're not a kid, you know, if you own your own gear and you're at the field, I'm going to assume you can take a single shot from up close and not, you know, anything malicious. And if I have the chance and think I can surrender you, I certainly will and do. Yeah. But my big thing is you're in a big game. you're standing out there hovering over a bunker hoping to surrender somebody. You are the biggest target on the field. You probably yelled surrender at him. The rest of the field is looking at you, and you're going to get shot while you're waiting for him to surrender. And when you get hit, he's just going to stay in because you didn't get surrendered. So I've totally had that happen to me. And honestly, like I said, if I can tell that you're, adult and you've got your own gear, unless I've got you absolutely dead to rights, you're probably catching a single shot. Sorry.
And if you get surrendered, like, just be professional. Be.
Absolutely.
I don't know any other word other than professional.
No.
I surrendered a guy at Hillsborough one time. It was the best thing ever. I wish I could remember who the hell it was. Anyways, I walked up behind him and yelled surrender, and instead of being like, oh well, he sort of like looked at me and said, all right then, and then walked off the field.
That's all there's to it.
It was perfect.
Right?
And the best part was I came around like all super aggressive, like adrenaline's pumping because I was out in the open when I surrendered. I was like, surrender. He's like, yeah, okay. I'm like,
I made someone scream once.
That's awesome.
Our buddy Zach said, if someone has the skill to outmaneuver me, I will take the surrender. And I'd expect the same. That being said, we all know the player who will never take the surrender no matter what.
Yeah.
Nightmare?
Yeah. Nightmare. Because ultimately, if he gets you or if you get him, it's going on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
I've only fired on one player that had me from behind, dead to rights, and it was MSOB teammate Liam. And I had just got a nice little kill streak, and he snuck up behind me, but he was like 20 feet away. And what did he say? He said, Blake or Tuna, surrender, please. And I don't know whether it was the please that made me think maybe his confidence level was low. He didn't have ammo in his mag. But I turned and fired on him, and he hit me like square twice before I even got the first trigger pull off. And I still tagged him once. And I apologized to him. I was like, you know what, you stay in. You had me dead to rights. And so he stayed in afterwards. But I laughed hard. It's the only time that someone had me square to the back. And I was like, no, I'm just going to try my luck and turn and fire. But no, he caught me good and he earned it.
That's awesome.
Can I share on your thing about the balls per second and all that fun stuff?
Yeah.
Sure, man.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, personally, just because I know the field and I know what to expect there, the 15 balls per second, full auto or uncapped, whatever they're running, I know to expect that going to that event. But I do agree with you about when you're running an open class game and you have a lot of younger people, rentals, maybe new to the game, stuff like that, trying to level the playing field a little bit better. Running, well, I know these really cool group of guys that, when they run events, they do, 8 or 10 balls per second in semi. So that means whatever you brought, pump, pistol, mag fed, box mag, speedball markers, everybody's shooting the same thing on the field. And it kind of keeps it a little more laid back, a little more fun, I find.
Do we have an event coming up in a few months?
Oh, I'll just flip the shirt around. This isn't the actual event, but it might be called this.
Disavow.
Okay.
But that's not until September.
Are they doing T-shirts this year? I hope so, because I need a new T-shirt.
We'll be promoting that soon.
Well, you'd have to talk to English Dave about that. I know he likes his patches now and stuff too, but I guess the speedball players wouldn't have any use for a patch. So
yeah, everyone needs a T-shirt, right?
Yeah, but they never fit me.
Yeah, but can we get T-shirts with Velcro on it so I can put a patch on it?
Oh, snap.
Ah, there we go.
All right, now we're talking.
Can you get a T-shirt with Velcro that fits me, though?
I will have one special. I will make sure that English has one specially made for you.
You usually have to make it like a bed sheet or something like that.
We do know a tailor.
We do. We do know a tailor that specializes in paintball gear. You could almost call her a PB Taylor.
Every disavowed T-shirt or MML T-shirt don't fit me. I just kept it anyways because it was cool. I was there, but
yeah.
Nice.
That's right.
Nice.
You know what? Funny, Ian, it's the same thing for me, except for the opposite reason. They always have like XLs, and I'm just like swimming in them when I wear them. So I'm like, I have like Milsing T-shirts that like sit in my drawer because I don't wear them because I'm literally just too skinny to wear them.
You're
It's
just
pretty
you're just that little brother who
take
steals
those in.
like dad's
That's true.
t-shirt.
That's true.
Like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm doing like the oh no, what is it? Tom Cruise where he's like sliding across the floor in just the t-shirt. Risky business. There you go.
Sorry, I immediately thought Ferris Bueller.
That's not Tom Cruise.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah.
No, but I just slide across the floor. Anyways, so I think we can all agree though. At the end of the day, the Mersey Road Black Friday game was a good day of paintball. The sun was out. Everyone was pretty happy. There was a lot of paint thrown, so I'm sure the field owner was happy. And I think everyone went home pretty good. There was no fist fights, and there was no mumbling on the field of this guy over here is cheating. Actually, I don't think I heard any allegations of cheating.
Everyone had a good time.
Yeah,
So.
and it was nice for them to mix up the games too, like different objectives and stuff like that to keep the game moving around. It wasn't a stalemate on one line all day long. So.
Yeah, that field does flow really nicely.
Well, you know what they did, which was different though. Like if you think of most fields like a big rectangle, and you usually start at each end and then go down like a football game. They actually had us both basically start in the same end zone, if you want to call it, like the same end of the field, and a lot of times put the objectives way down on the far side. So it was basically a race down the right and left to get down to the end where there was usually a flag on the other side, which I thought was kind of neat because a lot of times they'd start people on like opposite corners, but this time we're basically in the same corners on the same end and then racing down to take care of the whole field. Yeah. And it definitely made it not feel like really linear, where you just smash into each other at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, because your objective is in front of you, but your enemy's to your right or your left. So you're pushing forward, but at the same time trying to prevent them from like circumventing around you, and just like it was a really neat dynamic. It was really cool.
Yeah.
So let's move on. I want to move on to we got like a few little things to go through. First, we're going to talk about this every week until the event, and then probably talking about it after the event because I'll be giddy. Is the
Absolutely.
Tune over here getting violent?
Yeah, my dog won't leave me alone, so I'm taking a blanket and I'm putting it over his head and then pushing the snow out.
Smothering him.
Yeah. He's back though. He goes,
So Commando Paintball and Syndicated Productions, Syndicated Productions is actually the event organizer company that is handling the D-Day event at Commando Paintball. So they've come up with this fantastic idea of 3 patches.
Oh, Brad, they still can't see your picture, bud.
No, it's because I've eliminated it.
Okay, cool.
I've replaced it with the logo because my camera. I think my camera's dying. I think my whole setup is actually just ready to shit the bed. So we've got they've got this fantastic idea. And I've got the image up. So if you're watching live, take a look at these because this is what the patches are going to look like. So one patch will be for D-Day 2017, one is for D-Day 2018, and one is for 2019. And these patches will only be available that 1 year at that one event. Now you don't have to attend the event to get the patch. You could buy it online. But the proceeds are going to the Mind Shift Clinic, which is a mental health clinic that focuses on PTSD and those affected by it, and not just veterans. We're talking first responders, police, firefighters, anyone who has endured or encountered anything like ridiculously tragic or traumatic.
Trauma.
Thank you. So anyone could suffer from PTSD if they're exposed to the right series of events or environment, and so these patches are really cool because they're really badass looking patches by themselves, but then all 3 of them link together to make a bigger picture, which I thought was a really badass idea.
I've never seen that before.
So there you go. It's fantastic. It's really cool. So if you go to commandopaintball.ca, you can register for D-Day, which there's like 53 days till the event. And you can pick up one of these patches. I know I am. I'm absolutely am. Like, there's no questions asked. I want one of these patches. And I'll probably never wear it. It's probably going to be one of those patches that gets like displayed in my room. Like that's not one that I will ever risk losing on the field. So it's just a really cool idea. The fact that all 3 patches link together, but you have to get the patch that year. So it's an exclusive kind of thing. And all the proceeds going to Mindshift Clinic, PTSD. This clinic handles like 100 to 120 new patients a year. So Commando Paintball and Syndicated Productions are doing that. And I believe Patch Panel is the one creating the patches. I think Patch Panel is the one actually doing the designing and manufacturing of them. So very cool. It's a hell of an idea, and it's a hell of a reason to support them. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no way you can argue that with me. So, moving on from that. Secondly, not nearly as important, but hopefully kind of cool. We do have our patches. We do have them for sale, and we've already moved a couple of them. 2 to 1 person. One person actually bought 2 of them. So they're $12 Canadian.
Yeah, there you go. With
free shipping. That's free shipping to Canada or to the United States too. We're not charging shipping to anybody. So if you just go to maritimemilsim.com.
For our friends in the United Kingdom, that's pretty cheap. It's like pocket change.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like a free patch, and you just pay.
And you know what? If somebody from the UK is willing to buy one, I'm not going to charge shipping to the UK just for the sake that one of our patches will end up in the UK.
There you go.
Right? That's like a novelty for me. Just be like,
if no one orders one, I'll travel over there and just like leave one at a field.
Right.
And we'll know.
Right. One of our patches ended up across the Atlantic. So that'll be cool. So maritimemilsim.com, then you go to our store and you can buy it there. It's all through PayPal. It is all very secure. It's all very safe. It's not sketchy or weird or anything like that. And they're high-end PVC patches. They're
awesome.
They're actually really good quality. I'm like impressed. They're really up there.
Yeah, we're really happy with the quality, and we've got a couple more planned from a previous podcast. I am, in fact, getting one designed that says, "Hold my teeth, I'm going in."
Excellent.
I'm getting that patch made. Out of my own pocket if I have to.
For smaller bulk, we could get local embroidery shop to do them.
We could.
Barrel does some pretty good work.
You're going to go big. That's a patch you want to do well, I think.
Yeah.
You want it to last because you're not going to be able to wear it for like 40 years.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I need something that's going to be there when that saying will actually apply to me. I want to be able to have this patch on me when I look at my buddy in the bar and say, "Hold my teeth, I'm going in." So,
fair call.
Right. Now, so that's our patch. So, go check it out. $12, free shipping. Come on. Anyone outside of Canada, you're paying less than $12. I'm pretty sure our dollar is worth less than like every other developed country on the planet. So, God, that's depressing. Now, excuse me. Let's talk. We're going to do something different. We're doing something different for the shows going forward. Somewhere in the middle, near the middle or the end of the show, we're just going to sort of put the show on hold. We're going to talk about our supporters, our sponsors. So we've got 3 companies right now who are supporting us and supporting the show. So first one, Max Tac, or Maximum Tactical, if you will. They've donated a TGR1 to us, limited edition Desert Tan. We are drawing for that May 1st. $20 Canadian for the ticket. So you go to maxtac.ca, you can buy the ticket through there. It's under soft goods because it's not a marker. You got to buy the ticket. $20 gets you a chance to win this limited edition. It's badass marker. It really is. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just an amazing marker. And you'd be supporting us. You'd be helping us help others and help keep us on the air and help us do more stuff like patches and stuff like that. So MaxTac has been a supporter of us for a good amount of time now. They love what we do, and we're forever grateful for what they've helped us with. We've got a couple other things from them that we're going to do after this draw that I think anyone who owns a TGR2 or anyone who owns a TGR2 will be excited about. So that'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to announcing that. So check them out, maxtac.ca. And I just realized that they actually misspelled MaxTac on this graphic that they sent me. So
that's awesome.
Just go to Google and type in MaxTac. You'll be fine. MaxTac. It's supposed to be
Legit.
MAXTACT, not MAXTAT. Maybe that's MaxTat. Steve, fix that. Get on that, buddy. Come on.
No wonder that address doesn't work.
I love that no one else has noticed though.
It's been there for a while.
It has been. It's been there for a
It
while.
is really fun.
So MaxTag's awesome. Check out. They're the makers of the TGR line of markers. So TGR2, the TGR1, the TGR2, and they make some great stuff. So check them out. Second, let's showcase some MadeFed Maker stuff. Check it out. We got a slideshow going.
Yeah.
Some cool stuff. The guy's always pumping out new ideas. I know he's kind of slowed down recently because he's getting ready for the events to show up, so he can go and actually sell stuff and show stuff off. So, but you got everything. You've got he calls it the block party. So it's a lot of
I like. He's got that whole set that's like all of the AKs and the block furniture, and then he's got the HK group that's like all of the HK variants. And
Absolutely.
I know I've been off the last 2 weeks, but come next week we'll get back on the news and we'll start making sure we're staying on top of his products and everyone else's as well.
Yeah. So he's making all sorts of stuff. He's making stuff for the Hurricane, for the MCS Hurricane, for the Milsig. Obviously, that's where he started. All sorts of crazy stuff. And it looks good. It's different. It's not AR platform. Yeah, it's based on a marker that's built on the AR platform, but it doesn't look like an M17. It doesn't look like a Hurricane. It doesn't look like a TGR2. And it's some cool stuff. He's working on some really fun stuff, and I really look forward to what else this guy's going to come up with because I know it's going to be good. Really support them. And lastly, last but not least, we have Ripple Industries, tactical gear, equipment, and paintball. So rippleind.ca, so rippleind.ca. Ripple Industries is they're a paintball, airsoft, tactical gear store. Like they're 100% focused on milsim.
It's my candy store.
Yeah, exactly. They're a MagFed players candy store. 100%. They do everything from markers to Condor hats with Velcro on them to player-made items. They sell Unanistan's 3D printed camera mounts. They sell, is it called Kydex? Kydex holsters? Yep. Molded holsters for Tipexes and T9s and all that stuff. So they sell all sorts of great stuff. So check them out and show some support. Go check them out. They got a clearance section. I shit you not. They have a longbow air through stock for the 98 custom. If you don't know what that is and you're not excited like I am, go look up the longbow, the Spec Ops longbow. It was like the marker equivalent of my wet dream when I was first getting into paintball. This thing, the longbow, it didn't have a hopper. It had a spring-loaded tube on the top of it. It was an amazing marker. Go check it out. But they have one for clearance, and I'm thinking of buying it for the sake of having it. Just so I have it. I'm very, very tempted to buy it. And they have a clearance section full of awesome stuff. Great stuff. And they support a ton of markers. MaxTac, Milsig, Tiberius, or First Strike, I guess. And Dye. They even have Dye Dams there. So all sorts of great stuff. So Ripple Industries, go check them out. And
they support Tipman, too.
And Tipman, sorry. And Tipman. Thank you.
That's where I got my
what,
mags for my TMC.
There you go.
Fast shipping too. I don't know about you guys, but even out here to the Maritimes, you order by Wednesday during the day, and you'll get it before the weekend without having to pay out the nose for shipping.
Yeah, and I don't know about the United
impressed.
States, but I know in Canada, if you're ordering from Ripple Industries, $99 gets you free shipping.
Yeah.
Everyone else, it's like $150 to $200 to get free
A lot
shipping.
of items they can't actually ship out of country though.
That's
with,
true.
Distribution agreements.
There you go.
Yeah.
So let's just assume Canada then. It's a .ca address, anyways. So those are our three main sponsors right now. they support us, and in turn we support them. And you'll be seeing us doing this every episode, whether we have something to really talk about or not. If we don't have any news on them, it's just going to be a reflection on what's going on. It's just going to be a reminder, hey, go check these guys out. And we will be doing that every show. That's going to be something we're going to do going forward. And that's it for the sponsors. That's it for everybody that is backing us up. Sorry, I just got my phone just went nuts. I'm getting messages and shit all over the place. What's going on?
Keep your shit together, Brad. You're the host here.
Yeah, I know. And my camera died. The computer's falling apart. The microphone messed up. This is ridiculous. Pretty soon I'm gonna be duct taping shit together.
You still got your beard though.
I think Gus is going to take over. He's the new host.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's fine.
He's all riled up. He doesn't like me just sitting here for an hour straight, not playing with him. He's been at my feet, just bothering me this entire time.
That's hilarious. Okay, so now we come to the fun part. We come to the part. For the longest time, we've been talking about nominations. So the podcast wants to take somebody to Commando Paintballs, Tipman Challenge, D-Day, 2017, etc., because it's a long-ass title. But it's
Maritime Road Trip.
So yeah, it's going to be a big-ass maritime road trip. There's going to be a ton of people in the convoy, I'm sure. And so we asked for some nominations. And we got some replies. We got a good amount of them. Before we get into them, I want to talk about the fact that this wasn't a popularity contest. This didn't go by number of nominations. Now, whether you agree with it or not, this is how we handled it. Basically, if you put in a nomination, we didn't keep track of the number of nominations. What we did was we sort of looked at them and we read the nominations and then we discussed amongst ourselves and we decided that we just wanted to. How do I word this? Basically, we looked at it and we decided.
It wasn't just if I could say it, it wasn't just the nominations, it was the content of the nominations. So
Thank you.
It wasn't just that 10 people said Jim should go or Joe should go or whoever else. It was that, Jim should go because he has helped X amount of people. Every time he's at the field, he does this, positive, whether it's a part of the community, helping, new people or whatever else it is that they brought to the table, and really what we thought beyond how it really impacted everyone else that they come in contact with. So that was kind of more of it. Wasn't just the nominations, it was the content of the nominations that really made a difference.
Yes, exactly. Perfect. Thank you.
No.
So we got some nominations. We got one. We got one for Guardian. Somebody nominated Guardian. He's on the podcast, guys. That doesn't count.
Which was actually probably one of the most well-written ones of all of them, if I get to say it was. If I was Guardian, I'd be have a little chip on my shoulder after that one, probably.
Yeah, it was really well written. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
And
I knew all
you
the
do
stuff.
some.
Nice to hear.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You do some good stuff in the community, though, Jay. Like your stuff you're doing with Seabreeze, trying to get some younger kids out that haven't played before, and the coupon, if you want to call it. Yeah.
Yeah, it worked really well last year, and we're excited for it again this year.
You're
And
always
the Star
trying to
Wars
get.
event as well.
Oh yeah,
Which
that's
year
a great.
events for
One of the
mental-
games we
mental
look forward to every year. So
Absolutely.
so we had some for some honorable mentions. We had Ron Bro. I don't know if that's his last name. Ron Bro from Moncton area. So we got some. He was nominated for his work with the MagFed Museum or the Nostalgia Museum, depending on who you're talking to. So he's basically trying to collect a lot of rare vintage markers. He wants to put them all together and put them on display so
And
people can see
MagFed
them.
specifically. Yeah.
And sort of MagFed specific. So it's a very cool idea.
Seeing how it's developed. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, really good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool, and we looked at that. We thought that was a really neat idea.
Definitely a close runner-up, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we had one for, let's see, another honorable mention was for Matthew Sears, basically saying that he was a really well-respected at the field, but not just because he was a good paintball player, but because he was always ready and willing to help out and help some people with with gear issues, making sure the newer players had fun time, etc. And they said that he used to get really bashful when they called him the super regular. So they that was fun. And so I'm just trying to hunt down all the nominations now.
Still have your Ripple ad up.
Oh, for God's sakes!
I should be watching along so I can help along.
This is why I
I've
need
been
a
watching this for a
producer.
while.
I need a producer.
A producer. I thought that's what you were.
Or at least an intern.
Yeah.
Or an intern. I need an unpaid intern.
I know we had a nomination for Troy Connors, so he's always volunteering to help out with Paintball for Kids, roughing it, as well as he's a big help with the Star Wars game, which is another charity game that we do. So,
Honorable shout out to him as well.
Yeah, there was a lot of them. There was a lot of, and I don't want to go through the names, but there was a lot of nominations that were just, I nominate so and so, they're a great person, and that's where it stopped. Which we tried, we said, yeah, okay, why do you nominate them? Oh well, they're really nice to people on the field. Okay, well that doesn't help. Okay, so
there's a lot of that in the Maritimes. Not the nomination, but the people who are being really nice and growing the sport and making the experience better. So if you're that kind of person, keep up the good work.
Yep.
We're looking for a little more detail, but keep up the good work that you're doing still.
Well, I think what we found is... Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, can I say one that I put in?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, not just this person in particular, but a lot of the guys at Seabreeze are volunteers. So they're not getting paid to do this stuff. And they'll come out on their days off and their weekends to help the guys work on the field, build and stuff. Then reffing, rental groups, and the weekends reffing. And some of them are really approachable, really great with the kids and everything. So it's a nice little crew down there. So there's a lot of people around the Maritimes that make this a really fun place to play.
Yeah, and I think that's a product of the Maritimes. I think the fact that we are such a small area, maybe not landmass wise, we're still pretty it's still 5-6 hour drive anywhere I want to go, but
Same.
There's so few of us, it seems, that we're such a tight knit community that you want to help each other out, and you don't want to be a dick, and you don't want to you don't want to be an outcast, or you don't want to be like, oh, I'm better than you. You just want to help out. You want to hang out with everybody and be like, what's up? We're all buddies. Let's get together and play some paintball. And then that's how it feels. So, so we went through a bunch of nominations and all that, and we talked about it, and we discussed it. And like I said, it wasn't based on numbers of nominations and stuff like that. But we ended up deciding our winner. And so we actually decided to invite the winner on the show tonight, telling him that we didn't have a guest, when in fact it's him.
Mr. Tootal.
So congrats to Tootal. We're taking you to Ottawa, buddy.
Yeah, we're taking you to Quebec.
Holy shit, guys.
And I mean, honestly, you know what? It actually, as the more and more we thought about it, it was really a no-brainer for you, buddy. We were thinking of who is more deserving in our community. I mean, you've been through quite a lot yourself. Getting the opportunity to travel isn't always the easiest. And we know, this is a good opportunity for you to get out there, hit those fields. Not only that, you have personally teched probably 3 or 4 of my markers, specifically pistols.
I think guys he's teched all of our markers.
And never asks for a thing in return.
He takes the patience to teach us how to fix it ourselves. And then when we forget or fuck it up, he's there to help me again or help you again.
You fixed the X7 I almost broke. Because it was leaking, and I was just like, Tootal, how do I fix this? It doesn't work. And he's just like, well, first of all, don't use oil, use grease. I was like, oh, that's
the Phenom there. That was a couple years ago.
Yeah, but the Phenom was busted. The game was starting, and you stayed to fix it so that Jukebox could play.
Nice.
So that was really cool. But we had a bunch of nominations too from people from Seabreeze in the area saying things like, that if you weren't playing, you were reffing, and if you weren't reffing, you were teching. So,
and I've seen you on Saturdays myself out there working on the field. I used to work Saturdays really close by to the field, 10-minute drive. When I'd finish up, I'd be in my suit clothes from work, and I'd pop by to go say what's up. And there would be Ian with a couple of the field owners building bunkers, doing repairs, not asking for anything in return, no special treatment when he gets to the field, but he gets there, puts the work in, whether it's helping people at the field, on markers, and then you're just a good guy, buddy, and we're more than happy to take you out with us for the event.
I just wanted one of the comfortable seats behind the counter so I could get off my feet. Oh, guys, Jesus. I don't know what to say.
I don't know.
Oh, it means a lot to me.
I don't know what I just did. I broke something. There we go. Okay, everything's fixed.
Well,
No,
like I said, man, you deserve it.
It means a lot to me. Like I was trying to figure out how to travel for this trip because I didn't want to miss another one again. Oh, geez.
Yep.
You're coming with us, man.
You're coming with us, buddy.
Yeah.
We're taking care of everything. You're good to go. So we'll take care of all the details for you, and all you need to do is
pack your bags.
Yeah, pack your bags, buddy. You're going to Ottawa. You're gonna stay in a luxurious.
Right?
That's right. Yeah, that's part of packing your bags. Was it not on Friday where I was like, I need a screwdriver? So I mean, that was a nail in the coffin for the victory right there. If you didn't have that screwdriver, we were going with somebody else.
Here's the rule, though. Here's the rule.
And I offered you 2 different ones.
You did. That's right.
He gets to come
Phillips
with us.
number 2 or 3. Yeah.
He gets to come with us, but he's not allowed to not play. I don't want any of this, like, I missed the game because I was fixing, like, Tuna's marker or some horse shit like that. It's like, if Tuna's marker goes down,
marker.
right?
This time we're checking your marker when you go on the field if it goes down. And giving you one
which
to
means
take
we're
it.
probably going to buy you a new marker. And
Yeah. Ian's markers just work. Yeah, I've never seen you. You probably check them all before you get to the field. So I don't think I've ever seen you have a marker go down.
Like the rest of us should, but we don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So there you go.
Specifically.
Hold on, I want to put that picture back up because I'm really proud of myself putting all the winners.
Thank you so much, guys.
Oh, no problem, man.
Don't mention
Happy
it.
to have you out there.
So,
I'm not working on any markers that day. I'm bringing backups for my backups. Like
absolutely, and we'll keep you running. If your markers go down and then you back up, if your backup of your backup goes down, I'll just steal a marker from, like, I don't know, Wolf or Aztec. And just be like, here you go. And
I'll bring my slingshot if I have to.
Right? Exactly. That's it. Right. If one of our markers go down and we can't fix it, I'm going out with a fistful of paintballs. I'll throw the damn things. But
you need one to sell sword paintballs, ballistic knives at that point.
Yes.
Yes. Exactly.
I saw those are getting in the hands of people now. Yeah.
Oh, I still got to buy one, but I can't justify it right now.
I know.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just really proud of this, like, winner thing that I put up. So, anyways.
And all the funny faces that you catch. Like,
yeah, it's awesome. So, thanks for everyone who nominated and came out to recognize, those who in our community who are doing something to benefit it, whether it's tacking markers on the field or trying to build a mag-fed nostalgia museum. Like, we had stuff all over the place. And
running cool events, helping people that look confused, don't know where their spawn is. Like, that's all the stuff that's helping.
Letting people test out their markers, everything.
Yeah.
We had it there. Honestly, it was really just great to see the nominations come in to remind you that, what it seems like at every field, there's probably someone who deserved this trip. Do you know what I mean? Like, if we had a school bus, we'd be taking 100 people down.
Yeah, absolutely. If I could if I could rent a tour bus, I'd load the sucker up full of people. Like,
exactly.
No
so
hesitation.
it was really just, it was like one of those heartwarming moments to go through and kind of read, that there, really are good people out there in this community, and it seems like they, outnumber those that are not. That's the thing. So, we'll do something like this again.
we'll try and I don't know, maybe hopefully it'll be before next year. I'd like to do this more than once a year. Try and sponsor a player to go. I don't know how we'll do it. We'll figure something out though.
Maybe I can get. I'll bug my wife and see if I can get some WestJet buddy passes, which are like discounts for the airline, and then people could. Well, we give them away, And if Guardian didn't get his nomination, didn't earn him a win this time, I don't know what you're gonna have to do there, Brad.
I created a goddamn podcast.
Yeah, and brought us all on it, so it's
no.
Hard.
I think your team captain is pretty cool, Tuna.
Yeah, I don't know. You just don't know. There's a lot of cool people out there, right? That's what we're finding out from these nominations.
That's just it, and that's one thing I want everyone to remember is that the nice thing about this was we got absolutely at no point did anyone send us a message saying, "Who do you think you are doing this and trying to be all big and take players somewhere for free and think you're all that?" We got nothing but like positive responses and just nominations, which was fantastic. It shows that the community really is not that full of assholes like it feels like it does some days.
The trolls were hibernating.
Yeah,
exactly. That's exactly what it was. But we are running way over time, but I think it was worth it to give Tutal his prize. And that's it. Everyone who's been watching the stream and commenting, I think I seen like Sizzle was there. Who was there? We got like Sizzle. We got Ryan, Jeanette, Sage, Josh, Sizzle, Sage, Jeanette, Sizzle. Damn it, Sizzle! You talk a lot. So, anyways, everyone who's commented, thank you so much. And if anyone who's listening to this in post. I apologize because episode 109 wasn't put up yet. So if you're listening to this now, go back. It will be up. Anyways, my bad. But until next week, everyone, cheers.